Yo, we back with another one. Oh my God, this is the time that we've been waiting for. You guys know the appeal is upon us. Free Tory, free Tory, free Tory Lanez until it's backwards. Tory also did release some merch, which we'll check out. We're gonna cop a couple things. We'll do that today. We'll cop a couple things and then unbox it when it comes in. But more important than free Tory Lanez merch, let's hope that this helps free Tory Lanez. The man that we've been dying to hear since the first trial, the driver. The driver was sober. The driver was there. He was with his bodyguard. Why did everyone speak but the man that was in the car? We finally got the testimony from Jaquan. We finally got to hear what he wanted to share during the last trial. Will this help Daystar Peterson, also known as Tory Lanez, be freed during this appeal? Will it help him succeed and beat who Tory Lanez's father called the devil? You are a bad man, Jay-Z. A bad man. You remember how his father came up?
You, Jay-Z.
Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men, and you're still doing it. The only independent witness in this courtroom is a man whose name is Sean Kelly. He came to court, and our attorneys, he would not even shake their hand after he went upstairs with Kathy Taw and Alex Bart.
They met on Saturday before. They met on Saturday.
With our witness. And then the man came back, and I sat in the hallway while he sat with Jody Little, the prosecutor's investigator, who acted so dumb, an intelligent woman who did not.
Oh, his father had me ready to go to church. His father had me about to make a conspiracy theory YouTube channel. I'm like, yo, relax. But let's not keep wasting any more time. Let's get straight into this. In front of me, you can see in the Court of Appeal of the State of California, Second Appeal District Division 3, Daystar Peterson, Superior Court of Los Angeles. And then this is where it starts, the affidavit of Jaquan Smith, rather say. It starts like this. My name is Jaquan Smith. My address is blank in Miami Gardens, Florida. Oh, he's from around the hood. Oh, he's from around the hood. Oh, he's from around the hood. I would love to get an interview if that's possible on this channel. Jaquan, if you into making a couple dollars, just know we'll be happy to interview you here. I'm over the age of 18 years and I'm fully competent to testify. I have firsthand knowledge of the facts in question that took place on July 12, 2020. That is the base of the above cited proceedings. I was the driver and bodyguard of Mr. Daystar Peterson, who's better known as Tory Lanez. In July of 2020, Mr. Peterson has been known to me for 7 years at the time of the incident. I had worked with Mr. Peterson for 3 years. He has not only been an employer, but I am also consider him to be a close personal friend. Does this show any bias in the testimony? Does this affect anything? He looks at him as a friend, which makes it basically we're hearing he has interest on Tory being free over what Megan Thee Stallion is saying. Is there any bias in that? Or how does the court look at that? I'm not too sure. On July 12, 2020, I was asked to drive Mr. Peterson to the home of Kylie Jenner, where Mrs. Megan, Pete, and Kelsey Harris were present. Mr. Peterson was at Jenner's home for approximately 2 hours when I received a call to come and pick up Miss Pete and Harris. Pete and Miss Harris and myself left Jenner's home, but I was asked by Miss Pete to return because she stated that she had forgotten a shoe. That infamous shoe. We've heard many times there was no shoe. It's just, you know, when a girl's determined to block. That's exactly what happened that day. That's what they're saying. I'm not too sure, but that is what they're saying, that she tried to block. We don't know, but that is what they're saying because they say she comes back with Tory Lanez and no shoe. When we arrived at Miss Jenner's home at this time, Miss Harris stayed in the car while Miss Pete exited. Miss Pete did not enter the home at the time. She went around the back to the pool area where Mr. Peterson was located. You looking for shoes or you looking for them two that are still at the pool? That's what you're looking for. Both Miss Pete and Miss Peterson returned to the car after a few minutes. Miss Pete was bickering, but I was unsure of the exact words she was saying. She seemed upset. The four of us left Miss Jenner's residence. Yo, in another universe, Tory stayed. In another universe, Tory called the Uber. In another universe, Tory said, I'm not leaving with y'all. But that freak-a-leak in him, I feel it. As I began to drive, Miss Pete started to fight with Mr. Peterson. They were going back and forth. I remember Mr. Peterson saying to Miss Pete that he was going to tell Miss Harris what was going on. If you guys are wondering what was going on, allegedly, Tory Lanez was smashing both of them. Allegedly, Tory was smash or pass, and both of them chose smash. That's all alleged. I do not remember what street we were on, but Miss Pete asked me to stop the vehicle. I did as she asked, and Miss Pete went to sit on a nearby bus stop. Mr. Peterson went and spoke with Miss Pete. After about 2 minutes, they returned to the car and I began to drive again. Miss Pete started the argument again. Miss Harris asked what was going on, and Mr. Peterson told her that me and Miss Pete have been dating and intimate. Miss Harris was upset by this, as she and Mr. Peterson have been dating in the same manner. Prior to any relationship with Miss Pete and Mr. Harris began fighting. I pulled over to stop them. Miss Pete and Miss Harris both got out of the vehicle and continued to fight, both verbally and physically. I broke up the fight and was pulling Miss Pete towards the back of the car. I saw Miss Harris with a gun in her hand. This went crazy. This is the part right here that we need, because remember, Tory Lanez was charged with possession of a weapon. We did hear that he was fighting with her over the weapon, trying to disarm her, but is that actually enough evidence to call possession, for him to have full possession of the weapon? Fighting somebody over a gun is not possession of the weapon. I saw Miss Harris with the gun in her hand. Ding, 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 ding. She brought the gun to the party. Miss Peterson ran from behind Miss Pete and myself towards Miss Harris, and Mr. Peterson and Miss Pete began struggling, fighting over the gun as I suggested, and the gun went off. Mr. Peterson tried to unarm Miss Harris. I was still pulling Miss Pete and did not see who shot the weapon. That's the only part that kills us. That's the only part, man, that breaks my heart. How much I would have loved to read that he said he saw Miss Harris shoot the weapon. Is he saying that because he doesn't want to lie in court and he really didn't see Kelsey shoot the weapon? Is he saying that because Kelsey took the stand the first time and tried to help Tory Lanez, saying everything she said the first time was a lie, Tory didn't do anything, all this and that, and he doesn't want to snitch on her? Tory's probably telling him like, yo, let's try to get out of this without throwing Kelsey under the bus. I don't know. There's so many things that come to my head. Or did he just not want to get hit with perjury and lie in the court and say that he saw something he didn't see? Because he's telling us he's pulling Meg Thee Stallion walking backwards. Again, she's trying to get at Tory. Tory sees behind them. He looks back and sees Shorty got a gun. Tory runs by him where Miss Harris is there trying to shoot or about to walk towards them with the weapon. And then that's when Tory goes, grabs her, they start fighting. He's trying to pull her out the way. Gun shoots off. That's what hits the ground. And then that's when Megan allegedly got hit with the bullet fragments. Again, fragments are super hot. So if you're not wearing anything, you just came from a pool party, your legs are exposed, a fragment could go right through your leg. That shit is super hot. It's super hot metal. It's super hot metal, pieces of metal just flying around. That could definitely rip through your leg and cause something to bleed. Where were we? And did not see who shot the weapon. I was lucky and not harmed, in my opinion. Miss P was also fortunate. The whole incident happened so quickly within just a couple of minutes. I wanted to present this evidence during Mr. Pete's trial, but was prevented from doing so as the district attorney was not ready to cross-examine me. And later, they did not call me due to the holidays and court schedule. I believe I should have been allowed to present this evidence at trial. Respectfully submitted this the 5th day of December 2023 by Jaquan Smith. Guys, what does this tell us about the appeal? Do you believe this evidence right here is enough to free Tory Lanez? Or do you believe that part that he still says, I did not see who shot the weapon, still comes back to still screw us? Because I forgot his name, but the guy that was on the balcony said he saw the short man waving the gun and shot. Tory was the shortest man there. I'm sure of it. I don't even know Jaquan's height, but I'm sure Tory short. Meg Thee Stallion said on IG Live, also said in court she saw Tory Lanez shoot her. Kelsey said she don't remember what happened that night, but she knows Tory didn't do it. Didn't say I did it, even though I'm telling you guys, that's what I thought happened from the beginning. Miss Harris came with the weapon. She started fighting with Tory Lanez. If you have your finger on a trigger and somebody's pulling your hand, also if you're a female, you're also drunk. We are also drunk. Everyone there was drinking. If you guys recall the trial, they were all drinking like crazy. I forgot how many bottles of Casamigos they said they went down. Kelsey even said she left and took a nap and then came back because she drank so much. So they were drinking for quite a while that day. I didn't hear none of them talking about food. I heard a lot of them talking about sleeping. Then they went to the pool and continued getting lit. Tory got there and started turning up with them. He never was, I'm assuming he wasn't drinking. He was working. 2, he was the driver. So I feel like that should be held a little bit higher. He is sober and he's a sober man telling us what happened that night. Let's see what will happen during the appeal. Guys, please share your thoughts down below. Do you think this will help Tory Lanez? Do you think this is enough? This is enough to help Tory get free, or at least on probation or something. We need Tory free. We're gonna buy some merch. We're gonna get on his merch page right now and probably buy like a couple pieces, see what we like, and grab something. I'll probably get my jaw on something too. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Let me know down below your thoughts about everything. Do you think we shall see Tory home real soon? Or do you think Tory's gonna keep giving us music from the cell? Let me know down below. We're on that road to 10,000 subscribers. We will be doing a giveaway at 10,000 subs. Hey, maybe some merch from Tory Lanez. We shall see. Sub up, sub up, sub up.